practice to sing, our singing vocals and our speaking vocals are completely
Yeah,
different. And
very
the way that
different.
we talk is different.
Yeah.
So even for me, I would find myself in the first few years of radio, towards the weekends, I would be losing my voice.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why. Because I'm like, I can sing for like 10 hours and I would be fine. But why is this talking, taking up my voice? So for you, I feel it's the same thing.
Same thing.
You're used to singing. It's natural to you, but talking so much is not.
Like, people don't know that when you are in this variety show setting, it goes forever.
The minimum is like 12 hours.
Like, I think Starkey is like 12 hours.
Yeah, 12 hours.
And then I'm shooting a new one tomorrow, and they're like, okay, expect 10 hours. I was like, what? Is this legal? This is not legal.
Because in the States, it's completely different. I mean,
yeah, it's
studio
illegal.
time. Yeah, it is illegal. It is illegal in the States.
It's illegal.
It's time over.
Yeah.
So you get double the prices,
Yeah.
and the studio loses billions and billions of dollars every minute that they use the studio. But other than that, I mean, let's talk a little bit about the song.
Yes.
As soon as you started dropping teasers, my listeners were freaking out because
really?
they're like, "Oh, you have to have him on the show." I'm just like, no. We're trying to have him on the show, trust me. But with your busy schedule, it seems that it's, very hard to squeeze you in.
Well, for you, anytime.
Aw. So tell us a little about the song, because I know that when you promoted the song in English, you didn't say that you co-wrote it, but in Korean, you said that you did co-write it in the promotional messages.
Yeah.
So you did help with the creative process.
I did help with the creative process. It was to be honest, it was a very rushed process because originally we went into the studio trying to find songs for my new mini album or album that's supposed to be coming out. And they're like, okay, let's write on this track. And we put this song together, and it was like, this is such a Christmassy song.
Like, as you were working, it's like...
Yeah, we're like, this is basically winter Christmas song, which is, we could put onto an album, but it seemed much more of a seasonal song than like just a pseudo backing track. And so I took it into my company. I was like, there's this song that I co-wrote, and, if you have any plans on releasing a winter song, then I think it might be a good one to do. And so it was very quick. It was like, okay, let's release this in like 2 weeks. And I was like, but I'm going to be in Australia for 5 days. And he's like, okay, we'll just get it done. And so we literally, the entire process from writing the song, like putting everything together, mixing, mastering, the very, very... Have you seen the music video? I'm sure people can tell it's like he's in a studio the entire time. There's a reason for that. We don't have time to do anything else.
Well, I mean, with a seasonal album, I mean, it's good to see. I mean, even American, producers and singers do, special in the studio type of clips, behind the scenes type of stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of the music video, I was just gonna say you're very cute in the music video.
I'm cute in real life. What are you talking about?
No, I know you're cute in real life, but you turned up the cuteness in the music video. I'm just like, I bet he was like throwing up in the bag after that shoot.
I did have a couple vomit bags on the side. But the song it's a pretty, like, as we were writing the lyrics, I was like, this is so, like, over the top, nauseatingly cute. And we were like, let's just take it out. But then everybody was like, no, this needs to be, like, the cutest, warmest winter song ever. And we're like, okay, let's just go all the way then. Let's go all the way.
Let's take every single cuteness that we can.
Like, your fingers and toes are going to curl up and fall off. Like, that's what we went for. And so I think the lyrics portrayed that very well. And it's my first song that I've produced or that I've written and released that's, co-written with the lyrics and the melody. And so I'm it was very a humbling process, and hopefully people like it.
And ironically enough, it's very not your personality.
It depends on who I'm around.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've had dinner and stuff with Eric before, and I have seen that overly cute side of him. So
you have?
Did I?
What?
I should have recorded that. So this wasn't something that was planned, what you're saying.
Yeah, it was very last minute. And
Okay.
so, in some ways, there are parts of it that I wish I had time to re-sing and re-record and things I would have done a little differently. But given the time span that we had, I think, I'm very happy with the results.
Okay.
So,
overall, you're saying that this is pretty much the first time that you've put the creativity of your side, like working on a song and actually being able to put it out. Song-wise, are you always in the studio just kind of messing with the computer and the process and putting tracks down and beats, or are you just kind of working with certain producers?
I do both.
Okay.
I'm not very good at touching like Pro Tools or Logic. I can play the piano and a couple instruments, and I write my own songs that are just mine, and I really like those songs. But I also know that collaborations are very important, and so I work with producers that I really respect and that I like, and so I'll usually go in. I'm like, this is the kind of what I'm thinking about recently. This is what I want to make. This is the kind of sound that I want to do, and then we'll put a track together. They'll produce like a beat and everything, and then on the top of that, I'll usually write the melody.
Okay.
Or co-write the melody, but usually I find that if I write the melody, it's easier for me to sing, and it kind of shows off my vocal color a little bit better. So it's a very fun process, very tiring at times, very stressful, but fun throughout.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Where do you get most of your inspiration? Is it kind of like, because I know a lot of different artists work in different ways. Some people write lyrics down first when they think of stuff. Some people write just words down, phrases, or some people think of melodies. How do you feel that you're inspired, and how do you kind of start the creative process?
So the sad part is that my best songs that I write, that I personally like the best, are like the most depressing songs in the world.
Well, that's how what happens.
Yeah.
Look at Adele. She made billions of dollars with one bad breakup.
I know. But that's my life. And so I listen back on the tracks that I've written, and they're just like the most, they're like, have faith. It's okay. It's going to be okay. Like, don't cry so much. Like, or just stuff like that. I'm just like, gosh, like, and I think, to be honest, part of it is a lot of the songs that I have built up came out last year, and I was just having a very difficult time in Korea and transitioning to Korea. And those difficulties were just pent up, and so that all got released through new songs.
Okay.
Having said that, I like to think a lot by myself, and whenever I have little snippets or clips of melodies, I just put it onto my phone. Okay. And then I'll just type lyrics in.
Later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
All different ways.
Well, I think that we should start looking at a career change for Eric, because ever since he's been putting out all of his songs like Ooh and, Heaven's Door, they're all like happy songs. And like even this one too. So we need to put you in a ballad.
Don't worry. I will make you cry next time. Like, you're going to be so depressed. You're going to have to be able to leave your room. Blackout curtains.
I'm going to curl up in the corner.
You're like hugging your dog. You're like, oh, love me, puppy.
All right. So tell us a little bit about the song Nogyojo before we take a listen to it.
So Nogyojo is basically a winter love song. And it's about, that person that you like or you love, and just about the times that you're making a snowman with them, and just like all those happy memories. And so the point, Nogyojo means to melt. And so the ending of the chorus goes, so please melt my heart, like my frozen heart, will you please melt it again, like you did last winter. So yeah, check it out.
He's like trying not to cringe as he's explaining the song.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is take a listen to the track, and we'll see you guys after this with more of Eric in the studio. All right, so a lot of our listeners, I think we should tune it up a little bit, because all of our listeners are like, oh, poor Eric, oh, Eric.
Yep, I told you I came here to make you cry.
I didn't expect this reaction from our listeners.
But wasn't that an amazing song?
Yes, it was.
I think whoever wrote that was just a genius.
A genius, yes, he is.
And I think, that might take Grammys for the next 5 years.
There we go.
So, congratulations to whoever wrote that. I don't know.
Congratulations. Throughout this year, you've been very busy.
I have. Thankfully.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of variety shows, which we've been talking about in the song breaks as well. You are a guest panel on We Got Married. How is that? I mean, I'm very curious as to what it's like to watch these these couples doing very cringeworthy things. But you're really good.
Very cringeworthy. And I think.
But you're really good at your reactions.
Thank you. That's because they're natural. So it's at first it was really hard because the people that I work there with are super senior sunbiz, but they've taken me in very nicely, and it's been fun because I didn't really watch the show that much before, but to as a celebrity, we can't really date in Korea, right? And so
it's changed over this past year a little bit.
But yeah, I'm vicariously dating through watching the show once a week.
Oh no!
So I'm like, oh my gosh, they're holding hands. That's so exciting. And then in my head, I'm like, you've been dating for 6 months. Freaking hold hands. Come on, get it together. But it's fun, and I see the people who are on it. I see Hong Jin-young every week because she's part of the panel with me. But the other members I see every once in a while when I go out to film something with them, and it's like meeting a celebrity. I was like, you're on TV. And like, you're on TV. And I was like, we're both on TV? But it's fun. I like it. It's a good time.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously the dating style in Korea is a lot different than in the States as well.
It is.
So to talk about the dating style in Korea, I feel that watching the show, you've become very Koreanized. I've noticed.
I've become very Koreanized this year. For better or for worse, it has happened.
It has happened.
It's to the point where I go abroad, and I was in Australia, and I was like, I really want Korean food. And I was like, what is happening to me?
What is happening to me?
Who am I? What is going on? And I had like a minor freak out, like identity crisis.
Really?
But I mean, I got over it.
Okay, so speaking of going overseas, you've been going overseas a lot. You went to Canada, Australia, and some other places. So where have you been this year?
So I was in Melbourne, Australia. I was in Brisbane, and then I was in Morocco, and Toronto, and LA, and that's it. Oh wait, no, Malaysia. Sorry, Malaysia. Yeah, I was in Malaysia as well, and I have a lot of places coming up for next year as well. So it's been a lot of fun, really cool to meet my fans overseas, and I think everybody comes to the shows for different reasons. Some people think that I'm going to host After School Club again at my show. I think other people, like some people, literally think that I am just an MC. And so, because in Korea I do After School Club, I do We Got Married. I'm now joining like 2 other panels. I'm doing just a lot of reality shows. So people think I'm this MC announcer interviewing person.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, wait, you sing? I'm like, yeah, that's actually why I came to Korea. And they're like, oh, well, can you sing then? I'm like, yeah. kind of.
I do have a few albums under my belt.
But it's been a lot of fun, and I've been very thankful and blessed for it. And so hopefully I'll be able to continue to do that next year as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Every time you go overseas, I'm just like, oh, take me with you. Oh, take me with you.
Oh, wait, weren't you in LA recently, like this year at some point? No, I'm sorry. That was very sensitive. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words.
I haven't been back to the States since 2011.
Oh, we're going to get back to the States.
I need to get me some food. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my mom's been coming often, so.
Yeah, her dip.
Oh, yes.
Mama's dip.
Oh, yes.
That ish is good.
I was talking to Eric about, I'm having an end of the year party, but it looks like he's busy.
Yeah, I have meetings, unless you want me to bring my company people to you.
Well, it could be a good excuse to kind of like not talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you spent time with them, so you put in the effort, but you don't actually have to talk to them.
Very true.
Well, we can talk about that after the show.
I'll play some political moves and see what happens. Life is all politics.
Now, as an MC, and of course, you and I both do a live show. Mine's radio, but you do TV. And I know that the TV process is quite all over the place over there. I know that you guys are running around and doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Out of the 2 years that you've been doing After School Club, what is the most memorable mistake or live, like, OMG moment?
Apparently I cursed once.
Oh yeah, I told you that.
I think we talked about that once.
I told
and it was
you
a
that.
complete accident. I was trying to say ship something to her, and it said I'm gonna something to her. And I was like, oops.
I think that was because Ailey was on the show.
Maybe.
Because you
I don't know.
subconsciously were just too comfortable. I don't know.
Well, that happened, and then this I don't know if I'm allowed to say this legally. But I'll say this, there was a show and somebody very, 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 very important was supposed to come to the show.
Okay.
And like last minute pulled out.
Oh my goodness.
And so our scripts, everything was based around this one person coming and it got wiped out and we're like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? And it wasn't, it was, I don't know, it was panic status for everybody, but you know, we pulled it through.
Oh, nice.
Nobody knew. Nobody had any idea.
Well, I mean, because I watch you every time. Like, every day during my show, I always see you during the second hour. And so, I mean, when I see you in between song breaks and my eyes keep going up to the screen, I've never seen an OMG moment, but...
I try to get over everything as quick as possible. For example, when Moon decided that he had to go to the bathroom during our show...
I remember that.
And I was just like, are you... yeah, go. He's like, no, seriously. I was like, yeah, okay. And then I literally looked at the camera and was like, well, Moon's gonna go pee in the bathroom. And then one time, Humber did like this hidden camera thing for my birthday last year, and
which surprisingly enough, I think it's only funny in Korean.
No, it wasn't the fact that it was Korean. It was his phone went off during the show, like during
On
the
purpose?
live show, and I was like, this kid did not turn his phone off. We're live on TV, and what do I do? And so I had to like. I was just like, oh, yeah, well, that's... I think Yukis was coming that day. I was like, Yukis is calling. They're on their way here. I think, you know, they're going to... And then I was like, yeah, Humber, go take care of your phone. And so, don't worry. And then they're like, oh, it's your birthday, so we did it on purpose, and they brought in a cake. And I was like, you guys are horrible people. Like, you guys... freaking like messed with my heart. I almost had a heart attack.
No.
But for them it was all like in good fun and like for my birthday, so I was like, oh, thank you, kind of thing. But for like a split second,
you freaked out.
I was like, oh my god, we're gonna be in so much trouble. We're gonna be in so much trouble.
Oh no.
But it was fun.
I've been noticing that there's, of course, the MCs do change a lot. You are the center and you have a lot of guest
I am
hosts.
the sun.
You're the sun.
I am the sun, and everything revolves around me.
Exactly.
I am the king, queen, prince, and princess of After School Club. And the moment somebody messes up, they're done.
You hosted it by yourself this week.
Yeah. On purpose, don't worry.
No, I saw it, and you did a very good job.
Thank you.
I think you did it on purpose, though, because you're hosting it with A-Pink.
Could you tell?
No.
So, yeah, that happened, but it was fine. No worries.
No worries.
But the thing is, you know, Kevin's always abroad. Jimin's also very good. I think Jimin kind of gets nervous every once in a while if it's like really, really big Sunbaes as well, because she's so young.
Yeah.
And so
I still forget that she's still in her teens.
Yeah, she's not legal yet.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
She's 9 years younger than me. And so that means, yeah, I'm not going to mention for you.
She's 12 years younger than
띠동갑이야.
Yeah, 띠동갑. Yeah.
And so...
There's a lot of celebrities that are like that these days. That's why I love having Eric in the studio. There's not that big of an age gap.
Yeah. So, you know, they're both very, very good. But every once in a while we're like, okay, maybe it would be easier And like, so Jimmy won't be as stressed out, or Kevin won't be. So I was just like, I'll just do it on my own. It's fine.
But
and
you
because I got to see Pink by myself.
Exactly. You don't have to share the parts.
Yeah.
You get all the glory.
All the attention comes to me because I am the sun.
Exactly.
But no, it's all fun. It's all fun and games.
Now, speaking of some of the foreign celebrities that you've met, the most memorable one.
Who? I think Jamie Foxx, to be honest. And I think the biggest part of that was that I was in LA and I was doing the Spider-Man 3 interviews. And we flew all the way from Korea to do these interviews, and they're like, you have 5 minutes. And I was like, what? Like, I sat on a plane
for 13 hours.
For 13 hours, and I've been sitting in a hotel taking shuttle buses to interview these people, and you're telling me I get 5 minutes?
Wow.
And so I was like, wow. And they sent me with like all these questions and scripts. I was like, none of this is gonna work because you cannot do anything if you say hello and you're done.
Yeah.
And so the first interview, it was Emma Stone. So I walk in, I'm like, hey Emma, like let's talk. And she's super nice, super cool. She's a big fan of Gina. She was like, I love that song. Da, 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 da. I was like, oh, Gina. Oh, yeah. And she's like, yeah, I love that. And I was like, okay, cool. And it's like, okay, let's start the interview. And every question, her personality is just so like chill, whatever. So she'd be like, yeah, it's awesome. Perfect. Okay, cool. And I'd be like, and people might not know, but for a TV broadcast, you can't use any of that because it's not substantive enough.
Yeah.
Right? If I ask a question like, please tell me about the movie, you can't say,
it's an amazing
it's a great movie.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. And so that happened. And this is not talking bad about Emma. That's just, I love her. She's awesome. But that's just, we were in a very playful interview. And so
But that would be aired in the States.
That would be aired in the States, no problem. But in
Korea, it's not, it has nothing to do with the movie or about Korea.
Yeah, and so it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
So they're like 5 minutes. And so, but then we ended up coming out and they gave us 3 minutes. And I was like, that was so short. But they gave us 3 minutes. And I was like, so the producer was like, Eric, we're so screwed if we don't take anything back with us because we can't use any of that. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? So we go into Jamie Foxx, and Jamie was just like this super cool guy. And he was just like, yeah, chill, like whatever, like let's just talk. And so I'm asking him these questions, and they're like, 5 minutes is up, you need to cut it out. People are like waving their arms and Xing at me. And I was like, okay, last question. Do you know anything about K-pop? And he was like, yeah, my daughter loves K-pop. Like, that guy, Psy, like, Gangnam Style, like, she loves that, like, really cool. And his daughter was right there. And she was, like, doing the horse dance thing.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I was like, well, actually, I'm a K-pop singer. And so he was like, no way. And then he was like, sing something for me. And so I sang Heaven's Door. And he was like, yo, that's good. That's, like, really good. And so he was like, okay, teach it to me. So he sang Cheonggu의 Moon. And then he was like, okay, now you sing it. And then he harmonized on top of that. And then he was like, yo, hold up. My assistant, his bodyguard, and his agent, he was like, yo, film this. And so he films the two of us, and he put this up on his Instagram and his Twitter and everything. He's like, hey, what's up? This is Jamie Foxx. I'm here with this guy. I'm interviewing for Spider-Man 3. And this guy's from Korea, and I come to find out that he's an amazing vocalist, and he's just super cool. And so we sang that. And then he puts it up on his Twitter and Instagram, and he follows me and like sends me all these mentions. And I was like, "This is insane! This is Jamie Foxx,
exactly."
You know. And so I think that will be forever like the coolest interview moment for me.
Nice, epic. But this is how I feel. Social media, SNS, like all this, it's connecting us. Yes, there's a lot of downsides to it, but I feel that it is really connecting us, like throughout the world.
Cool. And even for like our fans, we get to talk to them in a very real time manner.
Exactly.
That was hard.
You tried to translate it to that in English as more English as possible.
Shirshigan, it's real time.
We're going to take a listen to some more happy songs from you. We've got Ooh, and we'll come back with more messages from our listeners. Okay, so I do have a feeling that we're going to run out of time today very quickly because already we're kind of over time. Does this ever happen during After School Club? You guys are
all the time. You guys don't see it, but like the producers in front of us are like freaking out every show. They like wave their arms like just like stop, no more. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so when we finish, everybody's hair is literally a mess because just like running around and it's crazy.
Okay. We got a few questions from the States. Heather from the U.S.
Hey, Heather.
We've got a question. If you would ever consider acting, if so, what kind of character would you like to play?
Oh, acting. Yes, I would actually love to act. I have actually been getting a lot of like audition offers from the States.
Ooh!
And I can't talk about any of them right now, but I would love to do that. In terms of character, I think to start somebody that's just fits personality-wise with me, just like kind of bright and like kind of dumb and energetic. I think that would just be easier for me.
I think I could see you on the Disney Channel, like in one of those like high teen movies.
Hey guys, today we're gonna talk about.
I think you'd be the nerdy Asian kid.
Yeah, though we do need to break that stereotype. But yeah, I mean But anyways, I would love to do acting. Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Danielle is asking, let's see here. What are you hoping to achieve in the future from Australia?
Ooh, very, very good question.
You sound British.
I'm gonna do this in Korean so you can translate.
Why?
그래서 저는 앞으로요 꼭
Why?
연기에도 도전해보고 싶고요. 앨범 노래들도 되게 많이 내고 싶고. 그리고 저는 중국이나 미국이나 중국에서 진출 꼭 하고 싶습니다. 근데 무엇보다 제일 중요한 것은 좋은 음악을 많이 내야죠.
Okay. So he wants to act. He also I actually wasn't listening. He wants to act. He also wants to put out more songs. He wants to also break into the US and the Chinese market, and he would also like to put out more albums. Which is more important? I memorized it.
That is very good. I'm very impressed.
Even though I wasn't paying attention. Because we were talking during the song break how I love the fact that I don't have to translate today because I actually get more into the interview because to translate all of that, it takes not only that, it takes away from time.
Yeah,
we can get into so many more questions, but we only have a certain amount of time. And to translate all of that and to get all that done, I can actually ask you a lot more questions and not be pushed for time.
Very cool.
But during the song break, I was just like, watch, you're going to start translating what you just said by yourself because we're workaholics.
We are.
We're workaholics.
It's true.
Simeon from Romania says, how will you be spending Christmas? Oh yeah, Christmas is next week.
I'm probably going to rest. I just want to rest. And actually, James and I were like, let's go to church because we haven't had time to go to church, and so we're like, let's go to church and then grab a meal. And so I think James and I and a bunch of our friends might just do that together.
Okay. So, I hear there's something exciting coming up on the 23rd, not on Christmas Eve, but
yes.
23rd.
I have this event. It's called like M-Wave Meet and Greet. And I don't know exactly how it works, but I think I do like an hour live broadcast. And I'm doing like a mini show kind of thing. So I think 4 or 5 songs live. So hopefully my throat will be better.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, so it'll be fun. I've never actually done like a fan meeting or anything of the sort, like whatsoever.
Really?
Like not once. And so, but this is
like overseas.
Except overseas.
Yeah,
like in Korea. I've never done it. And I'm kind of like nervous, and it's a very limited seating. I think it's like 50 seats or something. And they have to get in this complicated way. But I think the broadcast itself should be open to anybody who wants to watch.
Okay.
So it should be on my SNS, my social media somewhere.
Okay.
If you guys want to join that.
You post on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because every once in a while, when you get really promotional about your post, I'm like, does he not work his own personal account anymore? Because if I remember right, he does operate his own account.
I do operate my own account, but I also promote a lot of weird stuff on there.
Oh, that's cool though. You need more. Now, literally the end of the year is coming around the corner. Yeah. So any big wishes or maybe New Year's resolutions for 2015?
2015, I actually need to work out. I need to like work out.
To do what?
To lose my belly.
You are bone skinny. What you talking about?
But my biggest goal, I have a couple, but it really is to do more music. And I think up until now, I've done 1 song a year. Except for...
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, except for this last single that just kind of rushed and came out. And so as a singer, that's very disheartening in some ways. So I definitely want to push that more, and then hopefully get into some acting. Hopefully in the States or in Korea, wherever. And I actually have a lot of shows that are starting to line up internationally.
Nice.
So wherever you guys are, there's a good chance that I will be in a radius somewhere around you. So hopefully I'll see you guys next year in the near future.
Sounds
So,
good.
Yeah, that's
Take me with you.
Yeah,
I'll be your PR manager.
Do you want to translate for me? I will speak only Korean.
No. No. You've been working on a lot of different languages. I was surprised that you spoke Chinese on Hello instead of Spanish.
See, my Chinese is very poor.
No, it was really good though.
No, I've forgotten so much. I only studied for about 9 months, and so while I was living in China, it got good very quickly. But since then, that's already been like 5 years, which is insane because I feel like I was just there. I've lost it all because I have no reason to use it. But I do need to work on it. And then Spanish, I love Spanish. I think it's a beautiful language, and I've learned it. Gosh, I learned it since I was young. I studied it since I was young, and so it was my original kind of second. No, English is my second language. No, I don't know what's my second language.
What? English is your second language?
Well, because when I was in the States, I thought I was living in Korea until I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
And so that's all I spoke. And
Okay.
then I forgot all of it.
Okay.
So it's my languageness is complicated.
Languageness. Okay.
My language styles.
One of our listeners, Felicia, her birthday's coming up on the 28th. but because you're here